I apologize for the delay. We had technical difficulties, but they've been straightened out, so. I now call this meeting of the Cranston City Council to order. At this time, I would ask everybody, please turn off their cell phones. Clerk, please take the roll.
Present.
Here.
Here. Here. Here. Present. Present.
Present. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the last meeting?
Motion to dispense with the minutes of the last meeting. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. Will everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Are there any public acknowledgements or commendations? Want to wait? Hearing none?
Why is this?
Public hearings. Anybody from the public would like to speak on any docketed item? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. President. Frank Lombardi, 225 Briarbrook Lane, Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm not sure if it's a docketed item or not, but I'm here to speak on behalf of the congratulations, and actually when a member of the General Assembly walks in, Mr. President, everybody's concerned that something's up. But I'm here on a social call, and I'd like to offer my congratulations to all the members of this august body on their re-election to the town council. And if you know me, I think you know that it's Democrats and Republicans alike, that we all have a common denominator in all of this. And the common denominator is that we're all here for the good of the city of Cranston. I'm here particularly to recognize two individuals who are leaving the council, one as a result of attrition and one as a result of being term limited. And I'd just like to say that there would be a third recognized as well, and without pointing any fingers, Councilman Botts, but I had to defer to Minority Leader Algier, and your citation will be forthcoming as well, Councilman. But this body, and I'll be very brief, but this body oftentimes, as a former school committee member, has a most difficult task, because your task is the one that deals with the public most directly and most often, whether it be potholes or speeding or bad side streets, snow plowing, and yes, Councilman Santa Maria, even coyotes. But you all do a very, very good job, and the two that I'm here to honor are particularly good at their work. I know that because they call me a lot when there are issues that involve the overlap of the state of Rhode Island and my district, in District 26. So I'm proud here today to offer a citation on behalf of the Senate and the General Assembly to my two friends. First, to Mario Aceto, who has faithfully served Ward 4 for 6 years, who is, I consider, a friend, who's hardworking, and who I know is going nowhere and will continue to help the people of Ward 4 and all of Cranston. And the citation is here, sponsored by myself, Mario, and co-sponsored by Teresa Paiva-Weed, the president, and Majority Leader Ruggiero.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And similarly, I'm here to offer congratulations to my friend Richard Santa Maria. After 10 years of faithful service, both as Ward 5 which I consider the most important ward in the city of Cranston, and to the at large. And I thank Richard for always being there, always being responsive, and for doing the right thing for the people of Cranston. And so I would offer through the clerk citations from the Senate to both of them, and I wish you all well in whatever you do in your future, as I do to Councilman Botts as well. Thank you for your service to the people of Cranston.
Thank you.
Senator Lombardi, on behalf of the entire City Council, thank you very much for your kind words. It's appreciated.
There you go. Thank you.
Anybody else in the public like to speak on any docketed item? Hearing none, public hearing is now closed. Resolutions. Councilman Arquette.
Thank you, Council President. In lieu of doing more research on this, I'd like to withdraw this resolution for the study and resubmit in 217.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Councilman. The resolution is now withdrawn. Moving on. Report of Committees, Public Works, Chairman Aceto.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Resolution in opposition to Clear River Energy Center Power Plant in Burrville. This matter came in front of the Public Works Committee at the regularly scheduled December meeting and was approved unanimously.
Motion to approve.
Motion been made to approve and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Councilman Botts. I'm sorry, Councilman Stichels.
Yes, I'd just like to offer a small amendment that was an oversight when I put this together. And that would be on line 66, which is is now blank, not part of the resolution, that it would just say, a copy of this resolution will be sent to the governor and members of the Energy Siting Board, the Woonsocket City Council, and the Burrville Town Council.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Councilman Stichels, continuing?
Yeah, I just have another minor amendment. I was asked by the Cranston Conservation Commission to add their name to the list of organizations that have passed similar resolutions. So let's put that on, let's put them first. On line 51, before Environment Council of Rhode Island, add the words, the Cranston Conservation Commission.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Councilman Farina, did you have?
No.
No? Okay. Hearing no discussion, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Now we have to vote on the motion as amended,
As amended.
twice.
Councilman
Councilman Farina, you have a?
Yeah, I'd just like to make a note in the motion. I think this whole body came out unanimously for this. One of the reasons I think we all did was between the citizens of the town and the fact that 2 town councilmen came to this body and asked us to support this. I would hope that if we as city councilmen ever went to another city and asked for their help with something, that city would give it to us as we're giving it to Burrillville tonight. So thank you for unanimously supporting this.
Councilman Favecchio.
Thank you, Council President. Yeah, I would like to echo what Councilman Farina said, and also to recognize the fact that we had some of our citizens that lobbied very hard and spoke to us on the campaign trail, and were very passionate about the issue. And the water issues are something that I think are a real issue and could affect Cranston as well. It's not just a feel-good resolution, but it could have some impact on Cranston as well. So I think we all supported this in committee, and I look forward to voting for it.
Any other discussion? Entertain a motion as amended? Okay. Clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes unanimously.
Next item on the Public Works report, I guess Councilman Stichels' update from the administration regarding sidewalk grinding programs. Councilman Stichels?
I don't have anything to say, but Mr. Barone said he'd have a little bit more information for us.
Didn't you get an update? Didn't you get an update on it?
I do have some more information. I had spoken with Ken Mason and Director Coop, and at this point, we decided we were going to hold off with that program because the sidewalks that are in question are very limited, and it would be more cost-effective for the city to go out and put the asphalt where the sidewalk is raised if that seems to cause a problem. To spend that kind of money on a program that's not effective because we don't have a lot of sidewalks that that the demographics would fit. Because like I explained at the meeting, you can only grind down between an inch and a half. Those sidewalks that are lifted at that amount are not causing problems that we can go out ourselves and fix it.
Just a little bit of information that I accidentally came across was that the city of Needham has done that. I happened to be in Needham and noticed a bunch of sidewalks were. So if you ever wanted another opinion on this program, that would be.
Okay, I will bring that to Mr. Mason's attention. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for your report.
Councilman Aceto.
Director? Yes. So that means that any sidewalks that fit that category, what are we going to do? If they're concrete, just take them out and fix them, or chip them, or are we just going to use whatever method we use now?
Yeah, it wouldn't have to be, if it's an inch or an inch and a half, it wouldn't have to be removed and replaced. That could be repaired with asphalt, like we've been doing in the past.
So if it's concrete, you're going to put asphalt over concrete?
Just where the low part meets the high part.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, monthly status update on school projects. What's happening there is this Wednesday, the solar panels will be turned on at Cranston West. All those other items with the schools and the AC and the heat are in the process of being liens released, payments released, and they're all good to go. Last item that I have, Mr. Chairman, Ordinance 11-16-2, ordinance and amendment of Title 8.12 of the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled Garbage Collection and Disposal. This item came in front of the Public Works Committee in the December meeting and was unanimously approved. Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Under discussion, Councilman Papalakis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. I put this change in on this current ordinance. Right now, if you pick up a dumpster between the hours of 10 p.m. at night and 7 a.m., there's a $100 fine. Seems like a lot of dumpster companies are still doing it in the wee hours of the morning. So this ordinance would increase the fine from $100 to $200. I believe Councilman Botts and Council Vice President Santa Maria also co-sponsored it with me, so I would urge passage. Thank you.
Councilman Botts.
Thank you, Council President. That is true, and Councilman Paplaskas decided to propose this ordinance or to modify the city code for this. It's a definite need. I think Councilman Santa Maria would agree that over the years we've been on the council that waste haulers, not the company, but in general, I mean, waste haulers come and pick up their dumpsters at odd hours, and really in certain areas of the city, it does disturb people that are trying to get a night's sleep if they're coming there at 5 in the morning. So this is something that's definitely needed, something that's affected houses in Ward 2, especially along the Reservoir Ave corridor. So again, I was glad to be a co-sponsor on this, and I urge passage as well.
Any other discussion? Councilman Santa Maria.
This is a good ordinance, and it's even better now that we've doubled the fine. Certain disposal companies are not getting it. I don't know what we're going to do if they still do it after $200 a pop per dumpster. So maybe we look at, the new council can look at enforcement measures. But I wholeheartedly approve this, and I urge passage.
Councilman Favecchio.
Thank you, Council President. Well, hopefully, we can always send Councilman Paplaskas out on his early morning runs chasing the vehicles as he has in the past, but hopefully he can rest a little bit after this. But I want to thank him for doing this, because this has been an ongoing issue for as long as I've been on the council. So I hope this puts a dent in it, and Councilman Santa Maria will let you know how it turns out. I definitely support this.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. On the agenda is a conversion of the Beachmont Field tennis courts to a dog park. Is that on your agenda? It's on mine.
I have ordinance committee next,
No, all right.
right?
Typo. We'll forget that one. Ordinance Committee. Chairman Accardo.
Thank you, Council President. First item, 8-16-01, ordinance and amendment of Chapter 17 of the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled Zoning, Change of Zone, 1353 Park Avenue. Entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Next item, 9-16-02, ordinance amending Chapter 10.12.270 of the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled One-Way Traffic on Certain Streets Between Certain Hours, and Chapter 10.32.680, Parking of Vehicles with Left-Hand Wheels to Curb, Francis Avenue. Entertain a motion. Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Next item, 11-16-03, ordinance and amendment of Chapter 10.32, entitled Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Fortson Avenue Greenway. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Clerk, please take the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Councilman Santa Maria is the photographer here?
The photographer's supposed to be here at 7:30, so I didn't know if we wanted to stop here, do what we have to do, wait for the photographer, and then continue after that.
Continue. Yeah, keep going.
Why don't we just continue until we see a photographer?
Sounds good?
Finance Committee, Chairman Stichels.
Yes, the first item is a real estate tax abatements as recommended by the tax assessor.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Next are the motor vehicle tax abatements recommended by the tax assessor.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Next is the waiver of interest on overdue taxes recommended by the city treasurer for hardship reasons.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 And now we have denial of requests for waivers on interest, the recommended denials from the city treasurer.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Next item is an ordinance ratifying the school committee's wage reopener with the custodians union, which is a 4% pay increase.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 And finally, we have approval of the annual city audit for the fiscal year, which ended June 30th, 2016. This is recommended by the Finance Committee to accept this audit and also by the City Audit Committee.
Second.
Motion made to approve, and there's a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Public hearings, again, anybody from the public like to speak on any item, docketed or undocketed?
Claims Committee.
No, we got to go to
Point of
claims.
order,
Claims committee.
Claims Committee.
Oh, sorry.
Rosalba gave you the wrong docket.
My agenda is different than your agenda, sorry.
So I heard.
I'll let that go. Claims Committee, Chairman Favecchio.
Thank you, Council President. We had just three claims that were settled, all under $1,000, basically, and that's about it for this last claims meeting.
Okay, thank you very much for the information. Public hearings, anybody from the public like to speak on any item, docketed or undocketed? Well, public hearings are now closed. Before we move on to elected city officials, Councilman Santa Maria, would you please come forward?
Uh-oh.
On behalf of the city council, I'd like to present this plaque and thank you for 10 years of service to the city of Cranston. You've done an outstanding job, and you're the only person who ever brought in Mr. Pulaski, who saved us $500,000, or got us $500,000 in grant. So thank you very much for the grant writing that you introduced. Thank you.
I just want to say a few words. I put this all together, and I want to stay within the Aaron Garabedian 4-minute limit that we gave ourselves. So Aaron, here's to you. I'll keep it within 4 minutes. Thank you, everybody. Everybody from day one. My family, my friends, it's been an honor to serve as your councilman. So I put a little thing together. Spend our tax dollars wisely. Return phone calls. Pay it forward. Be a gentleman. Be a peacemaker. Compromise. Don't fight. Work together. Protect the elderly. Children first. Have fun. Be resilient. Newsflash, you are not getting your way on every vote. Make the tough vote. Respect your colleagues. Appreciate the city workers. Smile even when you're angry. Listen intently. Remember where you came from. Be your own man. And stay true to yourself. The people have elected you because they trust you and have chosen you to be their voice. They are depending on you to make the tough decisions that will be in their best interests. They're going to be tough decisions at times. Having said all that, it is an honor and privilege to serve as your council in the last 10 years. I hope in some small way I have made a difference in the lives of the citizens of this great city. The city I call home, Cranston. So, in the immortal words of Roy Rogers, happy trails to you till we meet again. Thank you very much.
Councilman Aceto, would you please come forward? Mario, Councilman Aceto, I'd like to present you with this plaque from your city council, and thank you very much for your service to the city of Cranston.
Thank you.
Say a few words if you like.
It is I who stand for the rest of you aid. Because remember what we've accomplished in the last 4 years. We duly don't get the credit that we deserve. We're the ones going to the committee hearings. We're the ones who are away from our family. We're the ones who are passing the ordinance for all these jobs that are created. We're the ones who have brought all these businesses into the city and given them tax breaks. So it's I who clap for you guys as to what we did. I'm down, but I'm not out. I'll be around, as you know. I just want to thank my family because they bear the brunt of, missing family events and always being on the trail and doing things and all the chicken dinners that we attended over the last year. But truly, thank you, each and every one of you. I think in the last 4 years, this is the smartest and the brightest council, and we've accomplished the most of any other council probably in the last 15 to 20 years. So thank you.
Councilman Vivekio, you have a...
I'd like to call Councilman Botts. Councilman Botts has served 6 years. I've served all that time with him, and it's been an honor to serve with you. 4 years? I'm sorry. It seemed like 6, right? We had enough meetings for 6 years. So I'd like to give you this in honor of your service. Hope that you'll hang around and do some good for the city. You did a great job. Thank you.
I forgot we were doing this, so I really didn't prepare anything, but I would like to echo things that Councilman Aceto said, in that we should be proud, this council the past 4 years should be proud of the work we accomplished. I remember one of the reasons why I entered politics was a state of budgets, whether it was a state budget, city budget, whatever. And if we remember, in the beginning of this millennium, there was a lot of turmoil on this council and in the city as far as budgeting and whatever went. And what this mayor and council have done over the past few years is gotten these budgets back in check. Again, 3 out of the past 4 years, 4 out of the past 5 years, there has not been a tax increase in the city, and yet we keep adding services back in. And that's a testament to us on the council, as well as a great mayor for the city. So, again, and some other things that I'm particularly proud of is helping, again, people in the ward. I received a very nice card in the mail just the other night from a resident on Auburn about the stop sign that we added on Ivanhoe. And it's just little things like that that go a long way in making the city great. I'm particularly proud of the Body Works ordinance that I introduced. Hopefully that gives, again, the police extra teeth in trying to keep the city a place that everyone can be proud of, and not having these establishments move into the city. So anyway, thank you very much. It's been a great 4 years, and take a year off, refresh, and see what happens again in next coming years. So thank you very much.
This is presented to you, Council President. Presented to John E. Laney, Jr., City Council President from January 2015 to January 2017, in recognition of his years of dedication, commitment, and service to the City of Cranston, his leadership as City Council President. It's been a pleasure to work with you. You were the Council President. I'm Council of Ward 5 before I was. Hope I did a good job following your footsteps. And you got a new guy who chases after dumpsters, so I think it's going to serve us well in Ward 5. So, but on behalf of the citizens of Cranston, congratulations.
Thank you. Richard, thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words. I've only been on the council for 16 years. I don't know why we're making a big deal out of this. And I expect to be on the council for a few more years. You know, Mario said it right, and Don Bott said it right. This has been probably the best council that I've served on in my entire career on this Cranston City Council. We're able to work together. We've had our little disputes, but they were minor. We work together as a group for the betterment of the city of Cranston. The tax rate in this city hasn't increased in 4 years, and the reason was the Cranston City Council. The mayor introduces the budget, but we're the ones who pass it. And we haven't increased taxes in this city in the past 4 years. And that's a testament to the members of this city council and the people who elected them, because that's why we're here, to protect the taxpayers of the city of Cranston, to do our job as elected officials. And I think we've all done an outstanding job, and I commend each and every one of you members of the council for doing a great job over the past 2 years. Let's work together in the future and do the same kind of work that we're currently doing. Thank you all very, very much. Rose, you still the photographer this year? Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break to take a picture of the entire city council, because the photographer has arrived.
Motion to adjourn for recess, I'm sorry.
10-minute break.
Then you'll have to come back again.
Now goes city council meeting back to order. Before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge that Councilman-elect from the 2nd Ward, Paul McCauley, is here, and Councilman-elect from the 4th Ward, Trent Colford, is here. Gentlemen, welcome to our chambers. Moving on to election of city officials. The Zoning Board of Review, the appointment of Josh Catone as the 4th alternate member. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freedom? Yes. Councilman Stichels?
Yes.
Councilman Box?
Yes.
Councilman Jerry O'Hara? Yes. Councilman Lucido?
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas?
Yes.
Councilman Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes. A report of city officers. Are there any reports from the city? Hearing none. Executive communications?
Mr. President, a report on the hiring of special counsel, consultants, et cetera, was distributed to the council members by the legal department. I have 2 requests from members of the Cranston Fire Department to continue in service for 1 year each. I have Deputy Chief James Beckman, who will reach his 55th birthday this week, has requested to be continued in service, and I have documentation showing that he's eligible to continue.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freedom? Yes. Councilman Stichels? Councilman Box?
Yes.
Councilman Jerry O'Hara?
Yes.
Councilman Lucido?
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas?
Yes.
Councilman Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. President, Captain Thomas Fredericks of the Cranston Fire Department, who will be reaching his 55th birthday this week, has requested to be continued in service and has provided documentation showing he's eligible to continue.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freedom? Yes. Councilman Stichels?
Yes.
Councilman Box?
Yes.
Councilman Jerry O'Hara? Yes. Councilman Lucido?
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas?
Yes.
Councilman Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Yes. Moving on to council board communications. Status report on the Cranston Ice Rink.
Mr. President, right now, Discussions continue between the city and the bidders who have the proposal to enter into a lease agreement with an option to purchase. There's been an appraisal completed by the city. There's been a review of that appraisal completed by an appraiser representing the bidders. The results of that have gone back to the city's original appraiser, who's reviewed them and made a recommendation to the tax assessor. And the next step will be for the tax assessor to set the appraised value of the property. At that point, I expect the negotiations to, move forward pretty quickly or not, depending on where the bidders stand.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Council President?
Yes, Councilman
May I
Lucido.
just ask a follow-up question?
Sure, go right ahead.
Director Coop, when's the last time you met with the party?
It's been a while since the face-to-face meeting. There was a lot of back and forth between the appraisers. That's taken quite a bit of time. There's really been no cause for a face-to-face meeting until the two sides had their expert opinions, so to speak, lined up from the two appraisers.
All right, so if you guys come to an agreement on the price, then the sale will occur?
Well, it would be an option, a purchase option, so then the difficulty right now is setting that option price, and I think that's the biggest stumbling block right now.
No, I understand, but if you and the other party come together with the appraisal and the right price, then they will be able to exercise that option?
I believe, like I said, there are other details to be worked out, but that's the biggest stumbling block.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Councilman Santa Maria.
So, just one question. So basically, with everything you said, you can't agree on a price.
Not yet.
Okay, but I thought we had agreed on a price.
There was an
never really
agreement
agreed on
on a lease term, I'm sorry, on the price for the lease payment. But then at some point, the bidders made an indication that they wanted to have an option price to have the ability to exercise the purchase option. So now this is we need to set if they exercise the purchase option, which they say they intend to do, we need to know what the price is going to be, and that's the price we're looking at now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Coop? No? Oh, Councilman Stichels.
I have a couple of questions on the legal bills. The Christopher Milia, it's payments for handling, I guess, criminal prosecutions in district court. And then Stephen Catalano, it says prosecution.
Yes.
And what I'm wondering is, I thought one of the assistant city solicitors handled all cases in district court.
Dave Igliozzi had done it originally back in '08 through 2010. He has a faculty position with CCRI, so he's now essentially a part-time solicitor. He got a severe decrease in pay. He's about $12,000 a year versus the $30,000. The two, we needed, Judge Bucci of the district court made a super Monday at district court, every Monday, Cranston. It's not Monday, Wednesday. But we needed to hire independent contractors to handle the criminal prosecution. I am looking into next fiscal year, possibly making someone like Attorney Millay an assistant solicitor. But for now, he's an independent contractor, and so is Attorney Catalano.
And that's because Igliozzi, I didn't get the...
Okay, well, prosecution, we have a lot of cases that are going to district court. These are the misdemeanor prosecutions in district court. And we probably have about 100 files a week that are prosecuted every week. I handle it sometimes to cover, Attorney O'Neill sometimes covers it, and Attorney Igliozzi can cover it in the summer. but we need someone there almost every week doing the trials and the regular portion of it. Since Attorney Igliozzi started to have conflicts with his schedule, because you literally have to carve out 1 or 2 days a week, Attorney Millay and Attorney Catalano help us out as independent contractors. I want to reassess it. We have a new district court judge, but Judge Bucci, as part of her order about a year ago, wanted 2 solicitors. What happens in criminal court, and I started it myself to get an experience, is she wanted an attorney in the court dealing with her, Judge Bucci, but then we needed an attorney in the hallway to try to work out the criminal cases. So it got a little more expensive, but that her feeling was, I never want Cranston not to be represented. So we had a lot of moving parts, so we needed some help. And that's what those costs were.
So when Judge Bucci, there's, how did you say it, Millay? Millay is in the room?
Yeah, Chris Millay. He's an attorney that we've used for, he also does some coverage for municipal court, but most of it's the criminal calendar, correct?
You're there and he's there, is that?
I'm often there at times, and so Attorney O'Neill covers. It's basically, we have about 4 or 5 people that'll cover those hearings. Unfortunately, we do have conflicts and we need outside counsel. We literally have now, actually starting in the last month or two, Cranston has 2 full days in district court before Judge Carullo. So we have a lot of coverage issues. These are set 2-day hearings every week. So criminal, and we can't blow these off, you know, these are criminal prosecutions. So, and to be honest with you, since Colonel Winquist has come in, we've had many more cases going to court. I think there's just been more enforcement. So, but I will look at maybe next fiscal year at the budget season, maybe I'll make one of the independent contractors, if they will agree, more of a flat fee that a solicitor would have.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Councilman Aceto.
Solicitor Rossi, just another quick question. Is Stephen Marsala the zoning board attorney?
He is.
So why is he getting paid extra money on an inspection matter?
He has some other projects. I've tried to keep the solicitor's fees lean and mean, but sometimes Attorney Marcella will handle a matter that's normally outside his regular duties as assistant solicitor, and as a courtesy, I pay him on a separate invoice. He keeps it pretty reasonable, but sometimes I ask him to go outside of his zoning board duties.
But anything to do with the zoning board, though, part of his solicitor's salary would cover that?
That's correct.
Right, thank you.
Oh, and planning too. Planning's part of his duties too, as far as his flat fee.
Okay. Councilman Favecchio.
Thank you, Council President. Just to follow up to Councilman Stichels' question, yeah, I do know Mr. Catalano very well, and I just would say that he worked for about 19 years as a full-time prosecutor for Providence in the law department. So you've got, and I know Mr. Millay has a lot of experience, but you've got some really experienced people trying those cases, and it takes some expertise, some special expertise. But I think that we have 2 really very good prosecutors.
Okay, moving on to council member communications. Councilman Stichels.
Yes, the first item and the third item have already been covered at previous meetings, so Mr. Barone said he would try to get back to us about a dog park at Beachmont Field.
Can I glom onto your question about the dog park? Are you done?
No,
after this.
Somebody's going to talk to
Mr. President, I did speak to Tony Liberatore about this and talked to Mr. Barone about it, and it is possible. It could be done. There were some questions raised about how, is it the right size? Is it the right place to do it? Would we take out the basketball court? Is the basketball court used? I understand there's a perception that tennis courts are not used and it might be a better use, but is that enough space? Would we be taking away basketball court that's used by kids in the neighborhood? So the answer is it is feasible to do it. We need a little more information to determine if it's the best use of the land. And then, of course, we don't have any money in the Parks and Recreation budget to allocate to this, so we would need a budget source of funding to pay for the work.
All right, well, just on the basketball court is heavily used.
Okay, so it probably wouldn't make sense to take that out.
No, I don't think so. I think one of the advantages of that I saw of the site is there's an existing fence. So at least initially, that fence could be used to see if the dog park was a popular venue.
Okay.
And another question that I had that I didn't raise before, but is could Public Works do some asphalt removal and, basic, what do you call it, loam, putting some loam
Grading
down.
and so forth. Possibly, yes. But the problem is, to do that, you'd have to take the fence out. So then we'd have to pay somebody to put a new fence up.
Yeah, you have to take a part of the fence out. You wouldn't have
Right.
to-
So, but that is possible. If you're, I didn't understand, I guess originally, if the thought was just to leave the asphalt down for the tennis courts and use it as a park, put a gate up there, let the dogs run around, see if it works. That's a sort of a different question we could talk to Tony about and see how that works. I don't know if it's, with dogs, urinating on the asphalt, it doesn't absorb into the ground. I don't know if that's going to cause a problem. We'd have to figure that out, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's not a very appealing
Right.
setting, but my understanding is that it was used for a time by dog owners on an informal basis, and then the city put up a sign, no dogs allowed, and that was the end of that. So I think there is, I know there's general support in the community for a dog park, and I think there's neighborhood support for it also.
Maybe we can get creative and figure out a way to do it.
All right, good. Well, maybe we'll have a discussion about that
Okay.
another time. Thank you. I think Don had a question.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's been over to the east side near the Henderson Bridge, but Providence has a dog park over there, and I think it's supported by some sort of association as well. But they carved out what looks like wooded trails, and it goes to a clearing in, used to be grass, now it's mud, but nevertheless, it's a great area for the dogs to run in. They put down wood chips, et cetera. And I'm curious if something of the same vein, and I may be taking an idea from one of the council-elects, but the area where the concrete plant was going to go seems like a perfect spot for a dog park, because I think it's open space, and I don't know if it can be used for that sort of use, but again, there's a clearing, there's areas where you could actually carve out paths through the trees. There's a northeast tree right almost next door. Maybe they'd be willing to donate wood chips or a bargain rate. So anyway, I emailed Peter LaPola about that to see if the land could be used for that. There's some sort of notion that maybe it has to be pristine and cannot be changed, although we have a building there and asphalt, so I'm not sure how that would be. But again, I would urge this council in the next 2 years to find some way to do a dog park. This city really needs one, and whether it's owners going on athletic fields and shutting the gates and letting their dogs run around, I've seen that as a Little League president, or just having a place where they can just run and be gated in and not be in danger of being hit by a car. These are one of the nice to haves, I think, in a community that would attract people to Cranston and make them want to stay here. So anyway, throwing that idea out there, I hope the council runs with it at some point in the next 2 years, and I'd be happy to help out any way I can, so thank you.
Okay. You all set, Councilman Stichels?
Yeah, actually, there was one other thing. Was there a problem with plowing at the Central Library? I got a complaint about that wasn't done, or it was done very, like one pass.
I didn't get any call. I didn't get any calls regarding plowing for the Central Library, no.
Oh, all right. Maybe you could talk to them, because I understand the librarians were all out there shoveling and
On the central library?
Yeah,
Sure.
yep,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Okay, moving on, Councilman Santa Maria.
Thank you. I had a question from last month on the conclusion of the ACLU redistricting plan lawsuit. I think the question was, are we getting any more bills, or is this over?
No, our last bill, I think, was in October for about $600, and the matter's now closed.
Okay. Could I ask you, while you're up there, Chris,
Yeah.
Council President, may I ask Mr. Rossen?
Go right ahead.
Petrarca McGear, 21,000,
Right.
that says Karen Gilboa, parentheses, Shaffron. So, is that the collateral damage from the other?
Right. Major Shaffron has hired Attorney McGare. He has been actually picked by the defendants to do all the document review, the state police report, as well as all the medical
All right, so
records.
who's paying him? We're paying?
We're paying that because that's a conflict between Major Shaffron and the city. There's about 10 defendants at this point, and about 4 of them have conflicts. So that's Attorney McGare, who represents Major Shaffron, one of the defendants.
Is that the case on all the defendants, or?
No, not all of them. 6 defendants are represented by Attorney Joe Kavanaugh. And then the 4 defendants, Palumbo, Shaffron, Ryan, and Palumbo, are represented by their own counsel. We have to pay for that under the conflicts law, under the Beals case.
I know. Where are we on this? If I can follow?
I believe her deposition was taken about a week or 2 ago. The first day of her deposition, I think it's going to be a few days. I think that was taken last week. I believe a trial is scheduled before Chief Judge Gibney by the end of next year. In other words, the end of 2017.
Presiding Justice
Yeah,
Kennedy?
Presiding Justice Gibney has the case, the discovery, as well as the motions, as well as the trial. So it's going to move pretty fast now, I think.
Okay, I think that's it. Oh, can I ask Mr. Barone one question?
Just
You
one
don't
more
have to get
question.
back to me on this. If you could, you had told me utilities want to repave Budlong Road. I'm guessing now would be the springtime. You had told me curb to curb, so I'm guessing that's going to happen in the springtime?
That was Woodridge Road.
I'm talking about Budlong. We're talking about Budlong. So you said Budlong, Woodridge, and one other one.
I don't know, but Woodridge, Woodridge has been paved
Well,
curb to
obviously
curb.
Budlong can't get done because we're past the date for the paving,
Yeah.
December 10th.
The entire street?
Well, but wherever they dug it up, Budlong,
Okay.
a stretch from Midvale up to, geez, I would say a little past the school is all dug up.
I'll check into that for you.
I'm guessing the springtime, so I'll call you as a citizen.
Okay, thank you. I'll be looking forward to it.
Council Majority Leader Arquette.
Thank you, Council President Leahy. So first, I just want to thank Jeff Barone and the administration did a great job with the snowstorm. All my hills were plowed. I got a couple of calls complimenting, so I want to kudos to the administration. Also, I want to thank President Lanny. I've served under President Lanny for 6 years, and I have to say, John's a man of his word, straightforward, fiscally conservative, and anytime I had a problem, I could call John. He always returned my phone calls, and I had many, many good discussions with John over issues. Thank you for your service, John. Vice President Santa Maria, dedicated to the city of Cranston, especially the little leagues and the baseball fields, and made sure they all got their equipment and whatever they needed. I have to say, Richard, you approached this job with a sense of humor, and I give you credit for that. No matter how much pressure was on, you could always find some humorous anecdote to say, and I want to thank you for that and your dedication to the city. Mario Aceto, Mario, I have to say you approached this job with the most intelligence of all of us. You always ask the intricate questions. Your cross-examination of witnesses on issues and topics are excellent. Always enlightened me that I could look deeper into the issue. I want to thank you, Mario. No one campaigned harder than you, Mario, I have to say. Did a great job with your campaign. Councilman Bots, I have to say, I was, your freshman year, I baptized you, but no one could argue on the floor better than you, knowing you were in the minority then. You did a great job with all your arguments on the floor. You almost convinced me a couple of times, maybe. But thank you for your service, Don. And Tony Moretti. Tony, thank you for your dedication and hard work to the city. Excellent job as city auditor, and it's a pleasure to know you have you as a friend. Thank you.
Councilman Farina.
Thank you, Council President Laney. You know, having fought battles on both sides of the aisle, I'm uniquely qualified to know all three gentlemen that are leaving here quite well. When I first got on the council, as most of you know, I walked with Richard Santa Maria and Mario Cito almost limitlessly, and I would call them both friends, and I wish them both well in their future endeavors. Their counsel, their skills will be missed in the chamber. I will tell them their replacements have big shoes to fill. When I switched teams, I got to know Councilman Bots, again, extremely well. When I first sat in this council, we were freshmen together, and he knew right off the bat exactly what needed to be done. Sometimes he said things that were a little controversial, but he would tell you why he did it, and he would tell you why it was the right move. And a lot of times he was right. So your counsel, sir, will be missed as well. I wish the three of you well. Council President Laney, you have served with honor and dedication, and that is all anyone can ask of the Council President. I wish you well as we move forward into 2017.
Council, being bipartisan, Council Santa Maria next, then Councilman Vecchio.
Thank you. All right, I didn't really get a chance to when I was up on the podium, but Don Bots, it was a pleasure to work with you. Two great pieces of legislation came out of you this last term. The dumpster thing was really started by Don, because Don got the first phone calls as far as people waking him up in the middle of the day, middle of the night. And the Body Works bill, two great pieces of legislation, so it was a pleasure working with you, Don. Mario, we've known each other since we were kids, and I won't get into some of the things we got ourselves into. It's a good thing the police aren't here, so. We won't go into that, but pleasure working with you. I agree with Councilman Arquette that you brought a different edge into it, and knew your stuff, and my colleague on the other side, a better friend no one can have in this world. His wife and my wife worked for years at Filene's, and I always leaned on him for legal advice as chairman of Safety Services, and he always gave me the right answer. So, Chris, good luck serving Ward 5. Take good care of Ward 5, as I know you will. Best ward in the city as far as I'm concerned. The heartbeat of Cranston, so take good care of it. Paul, thank you for your kind words. You made this council interesting too with some of your things. So I'm going to hand over the wisecracks to you for the next council. So I'll be watching. Councilman Farina lost his first time, lost his second time. Third time, he walked with me, and he didn't give up. He was the Abraham Lincoln of the council. He ran 2 times before he won, and I have a great deal of admiration for him. He's young, he's bright, he's fiscally responsible, he knows his numbers, and citizens of Cranston will be well served with you in whatever capacity you serve in the next council. And to Councilman Stichels, we butted heads a few times, but thank you for your support the last time when I was running citywide, when I didn't know that side of the city at all. Thank you for your endorsement. Thank you for your friendship. And you brought up the school committee end of the knowledge that we needed. We were working with them. So I'm very proud of all of you. I can see you're all friends. And to Councilman Laney, When are you going to retire?
When my wife lets me.
I wish you all Godspeed, and thank you for the opportunity.
Councilman Favecchio.
Thank you, Council President. Quick housecleaning issue for Mr. Barone, if he has the time. Yeah. I know we had briefly spoke about the Poplar Drive overnight parking issue, but, and I don't know if you've had, I had some more complaints about it. I don't suppose you had much time to work on it, but.
If you could email me that, what I'm going to do is reach out to planning to see, you're talking about right across the street from the side of the church?
Yes, where the new apartments
Yep.
are.
I believe they're residents of the apartments,
Yes, probably.
and then I will forward that to Night Patrol.
Okay. And one other thing, there was a, I don't know if you heard about it, but there was a break-in, I heard yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Park Forest, an elderly person's home. I'd just like to get some information on it if possible, because it was pretty disturbing if it's true.
Okay.
And that's all I have for Mr. Barone. I'd just like to say that this has been most interesting council and really engaging council that I've worked with in the 6 years, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Councilman Botts, you know, had quite a few controversial things that he brought up, and they were all important issues, and I really am going to miss his wit and his ability to bring up some serious issues and even to make light of them at times. And certainly the two bills that he brought forward, very, very important. Hopefully he won't be remembered just for the Body Works bill, but you were very instrumental in getting that done. Councilman Aceto sat next to you now for the last 2 years at least, and it's been fun. We've had some engaging conversations and sometimes arguments, but we've remained friendly throughout, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
And Councilman San Maria, you sat next to me on the other side, but we've done quite a bit more together, I think, than anyone, only because we were on safety services for, I think I've been on for all 6 years with you. So we've developed a good friendship. Even when we disagree, we still walk away and can go have a beer. So I'm going to miss you. I think you did a great service to the city. Councilman Lanny, I hope we'll see you next month, if your wife allows it. And, Mr. Moretti, it's been a pleasure. I wish you well as well. And we'll see most of you again in another month.
Councilman Papalakis.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I'll jump in on the Love Fest, as Councilman Farina said. I'll be very brief, I promise. Don, I'll certainly miss your advice and your tutelage, and always picking up the phone when I had a question for you. Mario, I'll always miss your history. Whenever I needed the history on a topic, you knew it all. Even if you had a question from the 50s, you had an answer for me.
Well, I'm not that old.
But you gave me an answer.
Thanks.
And Council Vice President Santa Maria, I'm going to miss working on things together in the 5th Ward. So it's been fun. I couldn't imagine serving with a better group of people my freshman year with everybody up here. So thank you.
Councilman Stichels.
Yes, I'll be brief also. I would agree it's been a very good council, and what I'm going to miss is Mario's questions, which I think have been the best questions that have been asked by any council member, and Richard's gentleman quality, which I think is something that's not many politicians get that title linked with their name, and I want to thank you for that. And Don, if you're up late at night watching these council meetings in the future and you see me fumbling over my iPad, you'll know that you're not here to tell me how to work it. Thank you.
Councilman Botts.
I love you guys. I know I had some words earlier, but I just want to thank Mario first and foremost. He was my seatmate the first 2 years over here. It was kind of like a show me the ropes kind of thing, even though we were on either side of the aisle, but it was a good 2 years sitting next to Mario, and next 2 years sitting next to Steve. I don't think we could be more diametrically opposed as far as our philosophies, but in the end, Steve sticks to his principles, and it's something to be admired. So, and I think I stick to mine as well. Councilman Santa Maria, we've always gotten along, I think, on the council. We've maybe had a couple of barbs here and there during discussions, but otherwise, it's been a good 4 years serving with you. Council President Lanny, we haven't had many conversations, but again, I could always, as Councilman Farina said, you're a man of your word, and it was a good 4 years. As Council President, you were always fair, and when it came down to matters that mattered. So, again, and Councilman Paplaskas, I'm still always a phone call away if you want to have any. As you know, we talk all the time. Councilman Favicchio, it was good to serve with you the first 2 years as minority leader and the next 2 years. Again, serving with you, being one of two, it was a little lonely at first, and then Chris came along, so it was good to. And then Mike decided to join the team as well. And Mike, serving with you, it's been a good, what was it, year and a half? A year and a half being on the team, and a good 4 years altogether. We always knew we belonged with each other. As far, I remember that conversation we had. Yeah, you should join the Democrat. No, you should join the Republican. Well, we always knew we shared similar philosophies. So it was good serving with you. And Councilman Arquette, again, I knew you were busting my chops quite a bit the first couple of years, but in the end, I think again when matters came down to things that mattered the most, I think we both wanted to serve the citizens of Cranston well. So again, it was great serving with all of you, and again, make Cranston proud the next 2 years.
My turn. I want to acknowledge the only person that nobody in this room acknowledged, our solicitor, Pat Quinlan. Pat's been on serving the city council for 14 years. Without his wisdom, legal expertise, and good common sense, we would have been in trouble a lot of times. Pat, thank you very, very much for your dedication to the city of Cranston and to the city councils, the many city councils that you have been legal advisor to over the past years. Pat, good luck in the future. Now we can move on. Old business. Is there any old business? None. No old business. Introduction of new business.
Ordinance to amend Chapter 17 of the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled zoning, establishing Garden City Center Development District, referred to the Ordinance Committee, February 16, 2017. Ordinance to amend Chapter 10.40 or 07 of the Code of the City of Cranston, 2005, entitled solicitation on roadways prohibited, prohibition against distribution and receiving from occupants of motor vehicles, referred to Ordinance Committee, January 12, 2017. Following claims referred to the January 9, 2017 Claims Committee. Property damage claim, Maurice Zula, a resident of November 1st, 2016. Claim of Louis Diaz, a resident of November 19, 2016. Personal injury claim of David Ryan, a resident on July 7, 2017.
Is there a motion to refer all matters as read by the city clerk?
So moved.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Municipal Court 2017 schedule for approval. Is there a motion
Is that on the docket?
on the miscellaneous business on the clerk's desk?
Oh, it is.
No?
Second.
Motion made to continue, is there a second?
Councilman Paplaskas seconded.
All right. Any discussion? Councilman Farina?
Yeah, without knowing who's going to be appointed or reappointed as judges, would it make sense to continue this to the inauguration or the next council meeting?
Fine, I have no problem. Councilman Stichels?
Well, we certainly need a schedule for January.
So the inauguration?
Right, but don't we need a schedule for January before January starts?
Mr. Ross and
We could at least agree to the January so that there would be a
Need a
smooth...
legal opinion.
Yes, it's my understanding, I don't have it in front of me, Mr. President, but
Oh, I have it
I
on
believe
here.
the schedule, the judges aren't even listed on the schedule, it's just the actual confirming the days that there'll be in municipal court. So I don't see any problem with that, Mr. President, as far as at least setting the docket.
The docket's there, you just got to fill it.
Absolutely.
I withdraw my motion to continue.
I'll withdraw my second.
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, any discussion on the motion to approve? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Council Farina?
Yes.
Council Stichels?
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yes. Next city council regular meeting will be held Monday, January 23rd, 2017. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are now
Second.
adjourned.
Just think you're free January 23rd. About 5 other dates.